Welcome to week 14, assignment 1. We are going to be working on Microsoft Word. We're going to be using the Home ribbon, the Insert ribbon, and the Layout ribbon. That's what we want to work on the most is the Layout ribbon this week. That goes along with our vocabulary. So if you go to assignment 1, it's telling you that you're going to create a Thanksgiving flyer. And I'm using flyer very loosely, and you'll see. So you need to follow along. It's a little bit different than what we had done in the past when I wrote it on there saying change it to this font and center it here and do all of that stuff. And the reason being is that you can't always have it the exact same way because you need to learn to different learning styles, and even though it might not be your preferred kind, you still need to be able to do it. It won't always be that way in my class. I try to mix it up so that everybody's learning style is hit. So you're going to be adjusting the margins, the orientation. You're going to talk about portrait and landscape, size, letter, legal, clear formatting. And so that is what we're going to be working on. So to do that, okay, so we're going to go over here and we're going to go to my SSO and click on Office 365. When you're in Office 365, you're going to click on Word and a new blank document. Okay, so first thing I want to do is last week when I was getting all of the assignment 3s, you were going and you were copying and pasting out of Wikipedia, and it was, when it pasted over, it had the underlines, the colors, the links, everything. And you sometimes, or most of the time, you will not need that. So I want to show you how you get rid of it. That is like one of the very first things I want to do. So if I go to, I'm just going to go to and make a new tab, and we're going to type in Thanksgiving history. Okay, so we'll have Thanksgiving history, and I think it's the third one down. It's Wikipedia, because that's what I told you to use. I am fine with it. It is about the skills of Word, not the sources at this point. But I want you to start here at Thanksgiving, and I want you to scroll down to President, and I want you to right-click and copy it. Okay, so once you have copied it, you need to go back up here, and you go back to your document, and remember, you cannot right-click and paste on the online version. If you're using the downloaded version, you can. So on the online version, you need to hit Control-V so that it all pastes in here. And see what I was talking about, that you have your federal, and all this was in blue, you have underlines. And you can, if you really wanted to, click on and highlight what you wanted and change it to black. And then once you did that, now it's still got an underline, so you could click on it and hit underline, and then it goes away. But there is an easier way to do all of it at once. So if you select all, so you can hit Control A, or you can just click and drag. And if you go up here and you have your font size, you have grow font, shrink font, and then you have something called clear formatting. So if I click on clear formatting, it kind of just takes away all of the font and everything, but all of the blue and everything is still there. However, all of the links are gone under clear formatting. So we're going to select it again, and I'm going to click font color so that everything turns black, which is good. All right, that's a start. Now we need to get rid of the underline. So the easiest way to do that is if you go up here to underline and you underline everything, to see how everything is underlined, and then you click it again, and now nothing is underlined. So now it looks like normal text. So that is the clear formatting function in Microsoft Word. So now we're going to go over and we're going to work a little bit on layout. And layout's exactly what it sounds like. It's how is it going to look? If you had to put it someplace, where would you put it? And it's called the layout. So the three that we're going to talk about are margins, orientation, and size. Now, margins are the white space that is automatic on the top, bottom, and the two sides. That Word automatically does. Now you can change it around. So if I click here on margins, right now I'm in normal, you can tell because it's highlighted. If I go here to narrow, you can see how now I have a narrow, it's much narrower. Or I can go down here to wide, now it's much wider. And then the last you could do is, if you really wanted to, you can go down here to custom, and you could make it whatever you would want it to be, and then so there you go. Okay, but for what we're going to do, we're going to keep it at wide. Now the second thing that we need to do is orientation. And so the orientation is, how is the page set up? Is it set up portrait or is it landscape? Now you can think of portrait as your portrait in the yearbook, how you know how it is longer than it is wide. So it's like long and skinny. Or you can have landscape where it is wider than it is long. And that is like if you're looking out on a beach scene or something and you can see it really wide but not really up and down. So we are going to leave it at orientation landscape, so make sure that it is much wider than it is long. We're going to make sure that the margins are at wide. Okay. And then the next thing that we that is here is size. And when you click on size, the two that you're going to use the most are letter and legal. Letter is the size of piece of paper that you use at school. Legal is a little bit longer, but in general you will always, most always, until you get into the business world, use letter. But I wanted to show you where it is that you would change this. So we're just going to leave it at letter. Okay. The next thing that I had a lot of questions about was, how do you make another page? You know, is there an insert? Is there whatever? And the easiest way to make a new page is if you take your cursor and put it at the end. So do you see how my cursor is right here and it is a flashing line, and I hit the enter key. Now if I keep hitting the enter key, eventually I'm going to get a line. Do you see this line right here? That means you are on page 2. So see the little 1 here? If I go down here, I'm at 2. So I need you to be on page 2. And we're going to go back to our insert, and we're going to go to our Bing pictures, and we're going to type in Thanksgiving. And I'm going to use Peanuts just because I love Peanuts. So I'm going to click on Peanuts and I'm going to insert him. And if you notice, see how my margin is right here and it's lined up with it. But I don't want it that way. I want it to be centered. So to do that, you have to go back to the Home ribbon and click Center. So it's there. And then if you click on one of the side handles and click and drag, you can make it bigger. So we're going to make him a little bigger. And then if you click right next to it, you see now we have a really, really, really big cursor. But if I hit enter, it gets smaller. And we're going to say Happy Thanksgiving. And we're going to be in the Home tab, and we're going to, before we do that, hold on, we have to highlight it, and then we're going to go here, and you guys can pick whichever one it is, just so that I know that you have changed the font something, and change the size. Oh, that's a little bit too big. We'll go with 36. There we go. And then I'm going to change the color of it so it goes a little bit more with Charlie Brown. And there you go. So this is my Thanksgiving flyer. It's on 2 pages. It has, we have used the home, the insert, and the layout ribbon, just going back and forth and showing you how easy it is to go back and forth between them. So the last thing you need to do is save it, so you can go to File, Save As, and save it however it is you are keeping track of your assignments, because it will be put up in OneDrive or on OneDrive in Assignment 3 this week. As always, if you have any questions, please message me or reach out to me, and if not, I will see you guys soon.